Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. First of all, just before you say or think anything or decide to click off of this podcast because the audio is really bad, the audio is not like this throughout the podcast. This is just for the intro. I'm just recording the intro on my phone in the hotel room. Otherwise, throughout this interview, we are using the podcast mics, just as a disclaimer. Welcome to episode, I believe, 54 of Freshly Grounded. Subhanallah. So we're in Gambia right now. As a lot of you guys will know if you follow us on our socials, which I'm assuming that all of you do. If you don't follow us, at Freshly Grounded is our official. On Instagram, our official account is at Freshly_Grounded. My personal Instagram is at Faisal CHDRY. Faisal Chowdhury. Chowdhury wasn't available, so I had to shorten it. Actually, a funny story about that. Actually, I used to have Faisal Chowdhury, the whole one, and then I shortened it, and then I was like, what am I doing? I should have, if I can get my whole name, I should get my whole name. So then by the time I remade that decision, it had gone. And lastly, Sam's Instagram is SMPire, SMPIRE. So we're in Gambia right now with the Spot project. It's our second time over here to see the progress on the mosque, on the school. This episode is amazing episode with the founder of the Spot project, Bakr Islam. It's very, very interesting. We talk about why he got into the Spot project, but also the progress that's been made. And for the past 2 years, we've been fundraising. You guys have given tens of thousands of pounds towards this project, just to myself and Sam for our links. And so in this episode, you will see where your money has actually gone, because Spot pride themselves upon being transparent. You know, what other charity do you know that you give money and you can actually see exactly where the money's gone and the impact and exact people it's benefiting? Do you know what I mean? And even if you do see certain things, like for example, if a charity builds a school and they show you the school, you don't know what's going on in that school. Maybe a year later, 5 years later, you don't know how the kids are being treated. So we go through all of that. If by the end of this episode or during this episode you guys want to donate to Spot, then I'm going to give you guys a link. Go over to freshlygrounded.com/spot. That's freshlygrounded.com/spot. You'll be taken to a donation page, and there you can make a donation. Our goal, inshallah, by the end of Ramadan is to raise £10,000. So it will help out, and you guys will see what that's all for. This episode is, as you can tell, brought to you by Spot, supporting the people of tomorrow, which is a charity that we discussed in this episode. It's also brought to you, as always, by 59. That's 50_NINE. That's 59 Coffee Juice Snack Cafe in St Albans, Hertfordshire. It's owned by Sam. It's an amazing cafe. It's my favourite cafe. I always say it's my favourite cafe because it is. And they do fresh snacks, fresh juices, fresh coffee. And now summer's coming. It's hot weather, guys. So go grab yourself some fresh juices. Keep hydrated and stay healthy. And have a guilt-free, sweet juice. Also brought to you by Izaha. That's IZAHA.com. Izaha.com. Your one-stop shop for Arabic caps, Arabic fashion. And lastly, I forgot to do discount. So with 59, if you head over to 59 and you quote Freshly Grounded, you get £1 off your order. So that's, imagine if you get an espresso, you get an espresso for I think like £1. And also brought to you by I'm all over the place at the moment. I'm shooting this intro in our hotel room, so if you hear any music in the background, that's because it's a weekend in Gambia and there's kind of like a club or something next door to our hotel. If you type in Freshly Grounded on the Izaha card, you get 20% off. And lastly, brought to you by Flavor. That's FLAVR, flavor.co. It's your one-stop shop for branding, marketing. Oh no, that's changed. SubhanAllah, I'm so used to shouting Flavor. It's brought to you now by Feed Source. Feed Source is an arm under the umbrella of Flavor, and Feed Source is your one-stop shop still, but for social media content creation. So if you're looking to get social media content for your brand, for your business, it's an automated way of doing so. So you sign up to the program, whether you're a shop, a location or a product. Let's say, for example, your product, you sign up, a courier will come and collect your product and then take it into the Feed Source studio. The Feed Source creatives will take your pictures, edit up your content, and then you'll be able to download your content every month off your Feed Source brand panel. It's amazing. Check it out at feedsource.com. Guys, this episode is episode 53 with Abu Bakr Islam. Enjoy.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
No, after that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Okay, so alhamdulillah, we are sat in Gambia in the Spot Academy outside the dining area, and me and Sam we mentioned to Bilal that we were speaking yesterday, and subhanallah, we were saying about how what we are looking at and where we are right now is unbelievable. And what we were saying is it's unbelievable in the sense that it's literally hard to believe. There's not many things that I would say. In fact, there's nothing I can say that is unbelievable that I can think of that is like happening around me, like non-religious wise. Yeah, like everything that happens around me, I would say is believable. Yeah, believable. Might be, that's amazing, but it's believable. SubhanAllah, me and Sam were saying that we were sitting here yesterday in Spot, just looking around. It was on the sports day, and we were saying this is actually unbelievable. Like, I can't believe that this has happened. And SubhanAllah, so just to give it some context, we are sat here with Abu Bakr Islam, who is the founder of the Spot Project. Assalamu alaikum. We're sat here, like I said, in Gambia, and SubhanAllah, I think it would be nice. I know everybody kind of knows the story of Sport and how it started and how it began, and we've discussed it on many YouTube videos, so I don't want to go into it in deep, but I think for the sake of this podcast, if we do have new listeners, can we get like the shortest like roundup in a nutshell of where it's come from and where we're at now?
Alright, to cut a long story short, because we don't want to be babbling on, basically I remember, because for many years we were doing dawah and working with loads of organizations and whatnot, and then I got to a stage whereby I started working with charities and stuff. And when I started working with charities, I saw so many things that a lot of organizations were doing that I believe that is completely not correct. Do you understand? But I wasn't in a position whereby I'm going to be like going out exposing people for some of the things that they do. So I remember me and Muslim Bilal were talking about this and saying, you know what, we're working with some charities, we're doing projects with charities, but deep down we know in our heart this is not correct. Do you understand? Because we don't see no evidence of the work that they're doing. They ask us to market this, promote this, raise money for this, and when we ask for any bit of evidence, there's some type of problem. So that's when we come to the conclusion and said, you know what, we need to start our own thing. We need to start our own project, charity, whatever it is, and crack on from there. So then what we done was we started doing like little volunteer meetings, innit? And hardly anyone would come. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, like 2 people, 3 people, sometimes 5 people, and it would just be like us kind of left to our own devices at the end. People come and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But when it came to the crunch, a lot of people weren't really ready to put in the work. Then I remember what before Ramadan was coming, me and Muslim Bilal were talking and was like, you know what? We're just going to go Gambia. We're just going to get a land. If it's written for us to build a project, then Allah will make it happen. Do you understand? So I came Gambia, I was here for a while. The Muslim Bilal came out here, linked me. We were up and down every day looking for land. Everywhere, trying to, looking at small lands, looking at big lands, thinking of ways that maybe we can make this happen. But all the lands we went to wasn't what we were looking for. Do you understand? So he was here for like about a week or so, and then he left. So then I was left here and I was still carrying on looking for land. Then there's an auntie that we work with, Khadija. She then said, we were looking for land and I found the land that I wanted to buy. It was a big land, mashallah, tabarakallah. I negotiated with the owners, everything. We came up with a price and we agreed. The morning I was going to buy the land, I've gone to the auntie's house to pick her up. I've got the money, everything. And she's gone to me, you know what? There's a land that I've got here. Come and check it out before you go and buy this land. So we came to check out the land. I was like, this is all I've been looking for.
SubhanAllah.
Like, wallahi, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the whole time we were looking for land, she had access to this land, but she didn't remember. Do you understand? On the morning we were going to buy another land, she remembered that she had this land. So then she came and she said, yeah, you can take this land to do your project. So then we were sitting there and I was just thinking to myself, boy, gotta do this project. We ain't got no money. We didn't even have a wall around the land. And we didn't have a clue how we were gonna raise the money. So then I decided, you know what? I spoke to the brothers and I said, you know what? We're gonna put out a campaign. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, what have we got to lose?
Right.
We just try, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you understand? We want to do something for the sake of Allah. If Allah believes there's something good in it, then Allah will aid us. If there's nothing good in it, then we crack on with our lives. Then alhamdulillah, after our first Ramadan, we raised enough money to, build the structure, to put a wall around the land.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember. So we fenced the land, then we put a gate and then a door. Then the first building that we started on was the masjid. Do you understand? So after we built the masjid, then we done the kitchen area. Then after we finished the kitchen area, we done the sleeping area. And alhamdulillah, now we're here, as you said, doing the filming live and doing the podcast live. And we've got like 10 orphans living with us. We've got 24 students in the madrasa. And we can only thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because without Allah's help, this never would have been possible.
So how long have the orphans been here for?
The orphans moved in January this year, 2018. The orphans moved in January 2018. Alhamdulillah, since they moved in, we were trying to put certain programs together for them, because a lot of the kids who come here are not used to the facilities that we have here. Even like, let's go to the core. Even we're talking about flush toilet.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids coming here have never used a flush toilet. A lot of the kids come in here, some don't have their own beds. A lot of the kids come in here, even when they came with no underwear. Do you understand? So when the children came here, they came practically with nothing. So we had to teach them everything. How to be clean, how to bath, how to brush their teeth, how to how to dress up, how to cream their skin, everything. Like, these kids were like babies when they came in here. And alhamdulillah, with the blessing of Allah, you can see now, you've met all the children here. You can see they're adapting, and you've been to many schools. Any other school we go to, you shake a kid's hand, afterwards, the first thing you do get in the car is hand sanitizer. But alhamdulillah, when we come here, there's none of that, because the hygiene is on point, and we can only thank Allah for His aid.
People who often ask me about the sport project, they kind of say to me, especially recently, because I've been saying, I'm going Gambia next week or whatever, and they're like, how come you're going Gambia? I'm still talking about sport project. They're like, what charity is that? I said, no, it's just a small charity, a few brothers. And they kind of ask about the project and how I explain the project. I say the guy who, the people who founded it, they was doing some charity workout in Gambia, and what they had found is that when they was giving money, just as you explained, to certain orphanages and certain schools, they were not able to kind of see exactly where the money was going, or there's certain things seemed a bit like, I don't know if it's being spent in the right way. But the thing that I explain the most is, the children had built a relationship with Abu Bakr where they trusted him and they liked him, and so when he would go there and he would say to the teachers, look, you need to start bathing your children daily, you need to make sure that they have PE every week, etc., and then they would agree to it, and then Abu Bakr would go back maybe a few months, maybe a year later, and then he would say to the children, have you guys been having your daily baths? They would be honest with him and they would say to him, no, we haven't been having baths daily. Or he would say, when was the last time you guys did PE? And they wouldn't be able to remember, or they'd say it was ages ago. And so that's when he started realizing that the only way to kind of implement these things, these basic fundamentals like exercise, like cleanliness, is to be able to build the structure himself. And that's kind of how I explain it, because I think that puts it in a nice little nutshell as to why Spot is doing everything, not just helping out orphanages, but actually building it from the ground up.
Well, what you're saying is quite true, because initially when we first started, we were building water wells, we were doing feeding projects, and we had no intention of building our own school. And we were working with many schools, refurbishing schools, giving material to different schools. But one of the problems, like you said, that we encountered was anytime we would ask these schools to just do the basic things, we weren't asking nothing difficult, Faisal, to be honest. We're just saying, look, keep the kids clean, let them brush their teeth in the morning, let them cream their skin, let them look after themselves. And this was a problem, And then, to top it up, every time I bring my guests, when you lot were coming, I'm taking you to these schools, inshallah, with the intention that you would support these schools, you would help these schools. But the response we get from the schools is really poor. So you have to start thinking, wait, how can I ask my friends, how can I ask people online to donate to this school? And if they came and saw how the children are being treated, they won't be happy, and they would even lose trust in me. Even the basic things, you're teaching kids Quran, you're teaching them Islam, but you're beating the kids constantly. You know, you're mistreating the kids, you're telling them bad words, and many of these kids are orphans. I mean, I don't believe in it. I don't think that's correct. So that's why we were pushed into building our own school, because this is a dream that we always wanted to do. So we said to ourselves, you know what? The only way we're going to do this and be able to be in control, it has to be our own. And that's why we started the project, and we done the school.
So one thing I've noticed is the structure that you have here. Obviously we've just come back from another orphanage, a little school, a couple of hours ago, where I asked you a question. I said, "Oh, well, who's in charge here?" And you didn't seem to know, in the sense that there wasn't an adult around. They were just sort of kids running around. When did you decide to put so much structure into the sport academy, with regards to what the kids are doing from when they wake up till they go to bed, to what they can do at the weekend, to what they can eat, where they can eat? What's your thought process behind how much structure there is here?
One of the main things we have to understand, that young kids, they need a routine. You can't just have kids doing anything. They wake up, they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand? And having a routine is something that prepares you in life, because as you get older, we're working, you have your own business, organization, whatever it may be, or you're continuing further studies, you have to be organized. And what we see in many of these schools here, the kids are not organized. They don't know what they're doing. They wake up, they don't know what's happening. And you see that affects the children, because they don't know how to progress in life. That's the first thing. The second thing is, alhamdulillah, because I've grown up in the West, I know the importance of child safety and all this type of stuff, safeguarding. And this is something that we've been taught in the UK. And because I used to be a key worker, I used to do sessional work, and I used to do mentoring, I know the importance of these things. So once we started the school, we emphasized that we had to install safeguarding. Is so important, because at the end of the day, a lot of the people that we have working for us here, maybe before, these things weren't on their mind, but we have to push it to the front of their mind. This is what, because these, in a nutshell, would protect the children, you know. And also, not only to enforce safeguarding on our staff, also for the children, to let them know that, listen, if a member of staff touches you in the wrong place, this is not correct. You know, if a member of staff is speaking to you in a certain way, this is not correct. So we also installed that with them. And that's why even with our school now, we have a key worker. And our key worker, he sits in all the classrooms and he writes reports, and he sees how the children are interacting with the teacher. And if the teacher says anything bad, or we hear anything funny, then he writes it in the report, and we get to check the report, and we can put something in place. We can do something about it. You know, at the end of the day, child protection is so important, because we have to be honest. In a lot of these orphanages, a lot of these boarding schools, things happen to the kids, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we can't, like, Muslim organizations, they cannot deny this. You understand?
Yeah.
And non-Muslim organizations, children get molested in these places. Do you understand? Children get raped in these places. Children get abused in these places. So you have to put all the measures in place to avoid this, because it can happen anywhere, really and truly. Because you might have a member of staff who's determined to do this, but you have to put all the procedures in place to protect the children, so the chances of this happening is limited. Like, for example, we were talking the other day, I said, look, I got the CCTV, we're gonna put cameras everywhere. Why? Because this is it's not for protection for the land, it's for protection for the kids. Do you understand? So the staff know that they're being watched. And our main thing is to make sure our children are safe. Like you said, we went to an orphanage today. We could have went in there and grabbed the child and went off. No one could have stopped us. That can't happen here. Do you understand? Because the door's locked. Someone knocks the door. Someone will go and answer the door. Someone can't just walk on the land randomly. Do you understand? We have visiting time. Someone wants to come in and say, I want to see the school. We say, no, you just can't come in like that. You have to book an appointment and come. So we put these structures in place to protect the children, because the children's safety is the main thing. So this is why we put all these things in. And like I said, the core of it is because we come from the West, we know the importance of it, so we had to install that same type of belief system that they have in the West in regards to child protection and bring it here.
Does that exist in the Gambia, safeguarding and these kind of like rulings and the kind of the procedures you've got here? Does that exist? Anything? And have you discovered that in the Gambia?
For me, I haven't been to every school in the Gambia, so I can't say in the whole of Gambia, but I haven't seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
I don't see no safeguarding. I don't see no child protection, you know. And even when I was looking up online, I didn't see nothing like that. And when you speak to many people, because, you know, you interview people and they employ them, they've never heard of these things,
Yeah.
you know. So for me, I don't want to tell a lie and say I know no way in the whole of Gambia.
Of course.
There might be another school, there might be some places that do it, but me, I've never come across it. No, personally, no.
So really, you're setting a new standard for the way things should be done in these kind of environments.
Yeah, I believe
Sport
so.
Academy is.
Yeah, I believe so. And yeah, at the end of the day, Sport Academy. I don't want to say me.
Of course,
because
Sport Academy. Yeah.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
You understand? Everybody's got a position to play. Everyone's effort has got us where we are today. Do you understand? So
Alhamdulillah.
it's collectively, you know.
So there's currently 10 children here.
Yeah, 10
With
kids.
and how many spaces are there available?
So our intention is, in the long run, we want 40 children, but that's in the long run, because at the end of the day, you have to remember, bro, we've never done a school before.
Yeah.
So when we opened the school, if we wanted to, we could have took up all the spaces. It would have been easy for us. But at the same time, that's just going to bring hardship on us. And at the end of the day, you have to remember, when you start something new, you're going to make mistakes. So the more children you have, the more maybe, in a nutshell, that you'll be affecting.
Yeah.
So we only started with small numbers. When we started, we only had 5 kids living here. Do you understand? So we can teach them a routine, teach them about bathing, how to look after how to fold their clothes, do their bed in the morning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Brush their teeth, put on perfume, cream, all of that. So until that was installed in their mind, how to go to the toilet. So now when we're adding other children, they're enforcing the same beliefs onto them. Do you get what I'm saying? So it becomes easy. Now, alhamdulillah, we've got 10 kids and we want to add more children. We're hoping by Ramadan, we'll have maybe another 5 more kids, and then we'll stick with that maybe until the end of the year. Then maybe add another 5, have 20, and then see how the system's going. Because like I was saying to you the other day, now the kids are learning English in the morning and maths and science. Then they're doing Arabic and Islamic studies in the evening. But this is all trial and error. We have to see how the things are going. We have to make sure the kids are benefiting from what we've put in place. So we have to start with a small number of kids to see how we can improve our system, instead of just having loads of kids and they're not really benefiting. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So these are all the things that we considered at the start. We didn't want to, bring loads of kids and we can't facilitate to them for the way we expect the children need to be in this place.
So how do you go about picking the next children in line? Because from what I've seen from my 2 experiences here, is that there is a lot of children in need, and this is almost like a 5-star resort in comparison to other places I've seen. How do you pick the blessed ones, basically, who are going to come through?
For us, one of the main things is like, all the kids who live here they're orphans, number one. So that's one of the main things. Second thing is, like, if we find a child whose mother and father pass away, you might as well say that child's got a guaranteed spot.
Yeah.
Because these are the type of children that we're looking for. Not to say that we don't take children who have lost one parent, because we have a few kids here who have lost one parent, either the mother or father. But many of the kids here, they've lost their mother and father, and we feel like these children need it the most. Do you understand? Because they have no one to, they have no one to look after them, no one to care for them. Alhamdulillah, with Allah's help, we have all the facilities and we have the support here to change these kids' lives. The third thing we need to do is that we need to do our research in regards to the kids that we take here, because if you could speak to one of our managers here, we've had people come here and say we've got orphans, and that's the parents of the child there standing in front of us, lying because they want their kid to come into school.
Yeah.
So one of the requirements that we have here is that we have all the death certificates of the parents. Do you understand? If they don't have the death certificates, we won't take the child, because we have to guarantee that the child is an orphan. Many people will say the kids are orphan because they want their kid to come to the school.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're not orphans. So this is the criteria that we have. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is take children who are young as well, like 7, 8 years old, because we want them to spend enough time here, because we want the kids to be here until they're like 16, 17. And our plan is, inshallah, while they're here, they will gain enough experience. One of the things that we're installing here is that the kids who come here, every child who come here will learn a basic trade. So we make sure every year we will install that the kids will learn how to paint, the kids will learn how to do bricklaying, the kids will learn, how to do plastering, all these type of things, because we know in these type of countries, education is the key, but not always the answer.
Yeah.
Because many people are educated, they still can't get employment. But there's many people who even have come onto this land here who have no education, but they can paint. They know how to lay tiles. They know how to make bricks, and they're working, they're making money. So we want to make sure we give the children another option. The second thing is, what we're trying to do is, when the children get to 16, 17, before that, that's why we have key workers. We're trying to recognize the children's needs. What do you want to be when you're older?
Yeah.
We're not one of the schools that we think, because all the kids are Muslim, they're gonna all want to be Quran teachers, or they all want to be an imam or a sheikh. No, we give the children options and we listen to them to see what do you want to do, and we try to facilitate for that. And so what we're trying to do is build relationship with other organizations, electrical companies, plastering companies, painting companies, plumbing companies. So when our kids get to 16, we can tell these companies, listen, take our children on an apprenticeship. We will pay for their fare ourselves. Just take them and train them. Do you understand? Because we know, if you, generally speaking, when you go through that type of system, when you go through that type of training, you most of the time they give you a job in a long run anyway.
Yeah.
And also, even if they don't give you a job, you're going to get that experience. And maybe, inshallah, we can facilitate for these kids to start up their own business. So these are some of the things that we're installing here to try to, protect the children. So when they get to the age that they're leaving, they leave with not just education, they leave with a bit more than that.
So how important is it for you to network with sort of local schools and communities so people know that the option of Sport Academy is here for, say, for instance, a child's mother and father dies, that they know that you're here? Are you well known in communities now and local charities?
Well, at the end of the day, we're still going through the networking process. We have to remember we only opened the boarding school in January.
Yeah,
you understand. So we're still going through that vetting period whereby we're introducing our organisation to other organisations and seeing how we can come together and we can work together. But also, it's important for us to find the right organisations to work with. It's not just about working with organisations.
Of course.
We have to find organisations that have the same ethos as us.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And have the same beliefs, because at the same time, some of the things that we believe in strongly, some organisations don't even take. No. They don't take that serious at all. So we have to bear all that type of stuff in mind. The second thing is also it's very important for us to network. So we're building type of system whereby people know that if there's orphans, they can bring them to us. But at the same time, we have to be careful, because we live in a situation where people are desperate.
Of course.
And a lot of people will make fake death certificates, all that stuff to bring their children here. So what we try to do is work with people that we know at the moment who can refer children to us. And when they refer children to us, we go and check the children out. One thing I wanted to mention that is quite important that many of the viewers need to understand is every child that comes here has private healthcare. And before the child enters the school, we do tests on them. We do blood tests on them. We test their urine. We weigh them. We do everything. We have a nurse who works with us, a retired nurse from the UK, who's with us full time. So we do a thorough check on the children, because at the end of the day, we have to be careful about diseases as well, bro. Of course. Do you understand? Some of these kids are coming from rough backgrounds, So we have to make sure that the other children are safe from new children that we might bring in, because a child might come with a certain disease and it might be a problem. Mm-hmm. So all these type of things we have in mind. But like I said, we're a new organisation. We're a new school, so we're still learning. But we're taking things step by step. But alhamdulillah, things are coming together well.
When you walk onto the spot land for the first time, you can't help but notice that everything looks very fresh, everything looks very clean. The architecture is beautiful, it's very modern. It's just like any Western country, and that's probably why it stands out from any other orphanage or school that we've seen in Gambia. And I know that was something that was very important to you, because you were mentioning it to me when we even first met. Do you remember when we first met in my office, the old one?
The one in
Hayes,
Wembley or something.
Hayes, yeah.
Hayes,
and what had happened is you were walking past and you walked back, and he said, and you were looking at the glass. You're looking at the glass, because I see through glass in the offices, and you said, "This is what I need in the classrooms." And subhanAllah, and it's there now. It's there now. Now in the classrooms, you got glass paned walls, because you said that I was like intrigued as to why you wanted that specifically. And what you had said is, you said that you want to make sure that everything looks state of the art and everything looks like how it looks here, because here you should not have to, because you're not in a Western country, have to compromise the look and feel. And you really haven't. Like, everything really does look like you are in a top range place. How important was that to you, and why?
First and foremost, we've got to take in consideration people are donating. Now, I've been to many organisations, schools here, projects, and to be honest with you, I've been disappointed, to be honest, because a lot of these organisations are raising big amounts of money and their schools look trashy. You understand? So for me, first and foremost, I was like, if we're going to build a school here, it's not going to look like an African school. And I'm not trying to belittle any school in the Gambia or in Africa in totality, but what I'm trying to say is, I come from a different background, isn't it? I'm used to seeing certain things. So why, if I come here, I'm going to build a school, I'm going to make it up to these people's standard. I'm going to make it up to the standards that I believe is correct. The standards that if my own children were going to the school, they'll be happy with. Do you understand? So one of the important things for me was to make sure I buy good materials, because the money that we raised, we didn't raise a lot of money, but the money that we raised, we probably could have built this place with half the money, but the place would have looked trashy. It wouldn't look comfortable. Everybody who comes here feels okay. They're relaxed. They feel at ease. And I feel that's important, because people who are donating for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they need to see their money's going to good. They need to see their money's being spent in the right way. Alhamdulillah, every time we post videos of Sport Academy, people online, they're impressed. Like, bro, look at the masjid. Didn't expect the mosque to look like that.
Even my sister, I put in my snap as soon as we got here this time around, and my sister replied to my story, and she was like, that masjid looks amazing what they done with that masjid, and it feels lovely to see that response.
I know it's important
because it is surprising.
Yeah, but it's important though, because at the end of the day, my thing is this: if I have my own money and I'm building a mosque, this is the type of construction I'll build.
Right.
So why, if someone's donating to me, I'm going to build something below the standard? I don't understand that.
I remember when I was here last and we had this conversation, you were telling me the plans of what you were going to do here, there, and everywhere. And not that I didn't have faith in you, but I just thought it sounded almost too good to be true. That's why when I've got here and to see the actual level of like the finishing and stuff, even like when you look up at the ceiling of the eating area, just like the finish on every little nook and cranny, it's just beautiful. That's why we're saying it's unbelievable, because every nook and cranny has just got so much sort of love, care and attention to it, and it's just the standards are high, man.
No, but it's important. At the end of the day, look, the children that we're bringing here, we're trying to change their lives, innit? So they need to come to an environment what's going to be amazing to them.
Yeah.
You understand? When they come in here, maybe they're not used to this type of stuff, but it's going to inspire them, you know? Even little things like when we put the plants and all that, the kids were going mad. Oh, look at that plant. I like that plant, because, you know, it's beautifying the place, and in essence, it's making them happy. You know, so for me, I thought like this was very important for us to focus on these type of things and make the place look like that, because at the end of the day, if it was my house, how would I build my house?
For sure, beautiful.
I'd put the best materials there. I want my house to look beautiful. So then why, if people are donating money for the sake of Allah, I'm gonna go build some rubbish structure?
Not only are the finishes of the building work beautiful, but I've noticed that everything the children are wearing is brand new. They look clean. All their in their drawers where all their clothes are, everything's brand new. Is that a big part of what you wanted to do as well?
100%, because I wouldn't even accept second-hand clothes for these children, because I ask people this, do you give your kids second-hand clothes? And 9 out of 10 people say no. So why am I going to give these orphans second-hand clothes? If you're saying that you're donating, go and buy clothes for the kids if you want to donate it, but don't give us your old clothes that you don't want. No. These children, I don't want these children to be in that situation whereby they're having this type of old clothing. So that's why I make sure.
So that's strict policy, yeah?
Yeah, that's a strict policy. We have to make sure all the kids are like that they look fresh.
Yeah.
They wearing brand new clothing. They're clean, because this is their right.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because like I said, would you give your own kids second-hand clothing? Would you give your own kids clothes what someone else doesn't want?
Of course.
No, you wouldn't. So why should we give these children the same? So it's important for us, you know, to cultivate these kids and give them what they deserve.
And what do you think that's going to do to their mindset? The fact that they've stepped into this environment and everything they're wearing is spick and span, and where they wash is perfect. And what do you think that's going to do to the mindset?
Well, we hope with the work that we're doing here that it will inspire the children. But at the same time, we have to have a balance, because a lot of these kids, not even a lot of these kids, all of these kids, even the madrasa kids, have never been in a place like this before. They haven't seen even the level of cleanliness that we have here. They're not used to it. But at the same time, we have to have a balance, because what we don't want is that we're giving these kids all these things and they become ungrateful. Yeah. Do you understand? So many of the times, brothers want to donate many things to the kids, but I might take some of the things and I might not give it to them straight away. Because as soon as a child enters our school, they get, let's say, 2-3 pairs of trousers. They get underwear for every day of the week. They get t-shirts, they get jumpers, they get vests, they get polos, they get socks, they get toothbrush, they get something to brush their hair, deodorant. They get cream, they get deodorant, they get a lot. They get football kits. All the kids have got 2 football kits. Do you understand? They get football boots.
Have you been there when you actually give them that?
I'm the one always giving
What's the reaction?
They go crazy, because they're not used to it.
Of course.
Do you understand? They're happy. You saw yesterday when the brother Vafa was giving them the watches. They were over the moon.
I wish I saw that.
They ain't used to this type of stuff, you know? And at the end of the day, it's like, we want to give these kids all the things that they dream of, but at the same time, we have to be smart and be balanced, because we don't want a situation whereby we give these kids give these kids all these things, and it backfires on us and they become ungrateful. So we try to have like some type of rewarding system. So like, for example, we know The kids study 5 days a week. On a weekend, we let them do what they want. Like you said, you saw yesterday the first time the children ever seen a trampoline in their life. These kids had never seen a trampoline, and they were jumping on the trampoline having fun. But from the day they saw it, I told them what it was. Every day they've been asking me, can I jump on the trampoline? I said, no. Wait. So you see, yesterday they were really happy that we put that program together for them.
But even when they were on it, they were monitored and they had a certain amount of time and then they had to get off.
Yeah, because you have to remember, bro, these kids are not used to sharing because they've never had anything really to share. So we have to we have to teach them how to share. That's why we let them go on there for a couple of minutes, tell them to come off, let the other ones come on. So they're used to sharing. Otherwise, it's me.
Yeah.
I want it. You see, when we give the kids something, you don't see them snatching.
Yeah.
We go to some schools, as soon as we're going to give, everyone's running to the front. They're trying to snatch. It's chaos.
SubhanAllah, do you know what? This is what I was talking about yesterday. I was saying the thing that I just find probably one of the most amazing things out of everything here is the selflessness of the children. Like, so yesterday, for those listening who are not aware, we had an activities day for the children, like a fun day. So we had snacks and stuff as well that perhaps they don't normally have. And so what you guys had done is you had laid out like cakes and biscuits and crisps in the dining area. So when they came in, they would be very excited. They'd kind of get a treat, right? But for these children who don't get that often, you would imagine that the narrative would be like this. They come into the dining area, they see it, they will run towards it, all snatching, trying to fight over it, and it's gone in seconds. They came into the room and they was waiting for instruction somewhat. They came in, they sat down, no one touched it. You didn't even have to tell no one, don't touch food. No one touched the food because they didn't touch food. Then they did what had to be done, so we were watching the film, etc., that they had made. And then even when you said, like, guys, enjoy the snacks, I was watching children, like one child was like, oh, I want that, and then he would pass him the plate over and give it to him, and he would go and making sure everyone's getting a bit of it. I didn't see once like, no, that's mine. And over in the UK, like, you see children with their own siblings, that they like, if a boy has a toy, his little brother is not allowed to touch it. Nah, that's my toy. He's playing my toy. He's like having a tantrum, man. Here you don't see it. Such selflessness, man. And they not have every right to be selfish, but you can imagine that you'd give an excuse for them. All right, look, he's being selfish, but come on, they haven't really had it before. But they're not like that. They're very selfless.
Because at the end of the day, this is how we're trying to cultivate the kids. And one important thing that we tell them, that you lot are all brothers. Yeah. No one's better than one another. Do you understand? They're all brothers. And also, we have a head boy here, Mohammed. So Mohammed is the one who they wait for instructions from Mohammed. If Mohammed says time to eat, everyone eats. And I feel that's important. There's a leader amongst them. They see there's some type of leadership. Do you understand? And I feel like that's a big benefit for these kids. Also, when these kids came in, the first thing we done was character building. So we sat there, spoke to the kids, told them what we expect from them. When someone gives you something, you say thank you. When you ask for something, you say please. They're not used to none of these things, Faisal. Do you understand? So we have to install this with them, because we have to make them know that this is how you're meant to be as a human being. And you can see when the kids, you give them something, they say thank you.
I know you say yes when you're giving the juice cartons,
yeah, they say thank you, because this is what you're installing them. Before you give the kids something, they'll just take it and look in your face, and it's not good. How are you going to progress in life if you've got that type of attitude?
Let's go off on a kind of on a different angle, or on a different tangent for a second, and focus less on the kids for a second. Yeah. If a person was to look from the outside in on the narrative that there's a man who his life kind of started on the roads, and if we look at statistically was most likely going to end up either dead or in prison. And now he is on a desert in Gambia. Not a desert, but like in the middle of a piece of land in Gambia, doing a sports day for children, helping the children, speak to them, teaching them manners, and cultivating them. It's an insane story to think about. I know you're gonna like say no, it's a team effort, which alhamdulillah, I understand, but no one can also deny the fact that is a journey that you have taken. Do you ever sit there and reflect on that, your past and the journey, and like, it's almost like two different people, but it is the same person? Do you reflect on that at all?
Yeah, obviously I have to reflect on my past, because my past has a big effect on my life to this day. But at the same time, becoming a Muslim, accepting Islam, you go on a different journey, and it gives you a different scope in life. So at the end of the day, the goal for every Muslim is to get good deeds, die on the right path, meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with something, that you have some type of case. You know, no one doesn't want to meet Allah and you ain't got nothing to present. You know, praying 5 times a day, fasting month for Ramadan, all that stuff is not enough. These are the basics, these are the fundamentals what make you a Muslim. So what are we doing outside of that? You know, at the end of the day, I was doing dawah. I was doing dawah for like 5 years. But the direction the dawah scene's going in, I just can't keep up with what's going on now. Do you understand? I'm from a different era, no disrespect, but some of the things that brothers do online, I'm not built like that. Do you understand? Some of the way people are moving now, it's just not for me. Maybe I'm too old, or I don't know, whatever people want to call it, but I'm out of that generation in regards to what you can do and what you can't do. But in regards to this work, I feel like it's more better for me. It's my sincerity is more, and I can do many things and no one don't know about it. We only post half of the things, not even half, a quarter of the things that we do, because at the end of the day, it's the people that supported us. So to a degree, we have to, not please the people, but we have to show them that this is what we're doing, because mashallah, they're the ones who have supported us. And what amazes me the most, look at the people who support us. It's all young people. It's not, generally speaking, how many old people give us money? Not a lot. It's the young people, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, even kids in school. They do their little selling cakes or whatever to donate to us. So at the end of the day, we have to show them some proof so their heart can get some yakin that we're doing the right thing. But at the same time, my main thing is that I need ajr in it. And I feel like there's a lot of ajr in doing this work. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that anyone looks after an orphan will be this close to me Yawm al-Qiyamah, this close to me in the hereafter. So this is what we want. This is what we have to aim for. It doesn't mean that we done all this is going to be accepted by Allah. There's no guarantee. Do you understand? Maybe Allah accept it, maybe He won't accept it. But I gotta have some hope that I'm doing something. I just can't be 5 times a day, praying, Ramadan, zakat. That's not enough, because I just know that's what keeps me Muslim. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? That's what keeps me Muslim. But I gotta do things outside of that. And also, we live in a time whereby many people are doing other good stuff as well. Many people are doing projects and organizations and whatnot. So I need my piece of the pie as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? I need to do something that, inshallah, I hope will help me in the hereafter. And, maybe helping these kids. Maybe if I pass away, they'll pray for me, they'll make dua for me. I don't know. They'll do something maybe that Allah will have mercy for the evil that I've done, or the evil maybe I have in my soul.
SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. Do you reflect on the fact that, for example, the charity work and stuff that you do now is very much so, it's not centered around money, in the sense that even for example, when you do ask for money for sport, it's something peculiar that I have only seen in sport. I'm sure it exists in many other organisations, but something that I've only come across in sport, in that when there's something that we need money for, that's when we will ask for money. And when we don't, when we're not working on that specific thing right now, you don't necessarily ask money, because I know that in the future, inshallah, there will be a situation where people can donate all year round, because there's always things that need working on. However, so far you've been working in a way that, look, this is what we work on now, we need this much money for that, let's work on that, and once that's done, we'll fundraise for more money. But you've come from a background, like I said, where money was seen as a very glamorous thing. How has your mindset changed now, where it seems like you don't value money as high as perhaps you used to? Was that a hard transition for you to go through?
No, I wouldn't say it's a hard transition, because obviously becoming a Muslim, you have to not free yourself from the dunya, but you've got to be you've got to have a different mindset. And I think when I became Muslim, I wasn't extreme, but I kind of just gave up everything. I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And I just kind of freed myself from everything. So I feel like that's helped me now. Also, I have to remember, before I was Muslim, I've had all of these things that a lot of people might want. I've had expensive cars, jewelry, gone clubbing, crystal, all that crap. So I've done it, innit? So when I see people doing it, it doesn't fascinate me, because I've been there and done that. Maybe if I hadn't done it, maybe my mind will be ticking different. But currently, because I've lived that life, it doesn't really affect me. And now, as I'm getting older, I start to think to myself, you know what? I'm getting closer and closer to my death. I need to prepare something. And we live in a time whereby so many people are dying. And not just, obviously, we know in the UK the knife crime is up like there's no tomorrow. A lot of people are getting stabbed, shot, whatever. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about natural deaths, bro. People going to sleep, not waking up in the morning. People having heart attacks, young brothers, young sisters, you understand? Muslim and non-Muslim, dying of natural causes. So I have to start reflecting and saying, you know what? If I meet Allah, what am I meeting Allah with right now? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this type of work, doing this type of stuff puts me in check. And now it's humbled me so much that my drive for making money is not there like it used to be. you understand what I'm saying? So obviously I need money. I'm not gonna go on like, oh, look at the front. I need money. I need money to survive. I got bills to pay. I got things I want to do. I want to travel. I want to do things. Of course I need money, but it's not the be all and end all. Do you know what I mean? Like before, maybe I was chasing. I need 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand. I don't look at life like that anymore. I just look at, I need enough to survive. I need enough to pay for my bills. I need enough to get by day, and that's all right for me. Do you understand? And long as I'm doing something what can benefit my soul, then I'm okay. It's like I always tell you that when I'm in the UK, I feel a little bit lost because I'm not doing the dawah. I'm not really doing the dawah as much. I got nothing really to do. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah, I can go and work a 9 to 5 or whatever, or hustle, but at the same time, I need to do something what's benefiting my soul. And for now, right now, this is like another life-changing experience for me. You know, like I became Muslim was a life-changing experience. When I started giving dawah, it was a life-changing experience. And when I was giving dawah, I was giving it with my heart. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? It wasn't something like I'm doing this for money or it's a business. I was doing it because I really wanted to help them people coming from the streets. But I've got to a stage that I'm not going to say I don't care, but I've just got to a stage that my direction's changed now. I can't put all my heart and my effort into people who a lot of the time they don't even want to change. Do you get me? Because to this day I get brothers messaging me every day, sisters messaging, asking for advice, but I've kind of fell back from that because I just feel like this is not my field anymore. And because the uprise of social media, people have changed dramatically. And I can't keep up. I can't keep up with you young brothers. I can't keep up. I can't do the things you lot do. I just can't do it. So I just said, you know what, let me step away from this. In the field that I'm doing now, there's no pressure. I can build a water well, calm. I can go to a school. We can go to poor people, give them food, no pressure. Do you get what I mean? We can look after orphans. There's no type of, urge. There's no type of pressure on my back, and I'm more comfortable doing this. So, alhamdulillah, it's okay. I'm happy that I went through my transition, and every transition brings something new to the table.
What's next for the Sport Academy?
Boy, for the Sport Academy, we just want to finish the place. At the end of the day, we're doing things in stages. Like Faisal was saying, he's a bit he doesn't. Maybe a lot of people don't understand why we're not always asking for money, but we don't want to be that organisation begging all the time. That's long. It's not about that. If we've got something doing, we raise money for it and we do it. We give the proof. We show the people that we've done it. Then we move on, and that's what we're doing now. This Ramadan, we want to start raising money again so we can build a school. You understand? Build a purpose-built school. Right now, we've got classrooms upstairs that we converted in the masjid, but it's not a proper school. So we want to do that. Also, what do we call it? We want to, we've got the field here. We want to put fake grass there so the kids can play football. Because even you see we're playing football, the dust is going in your nose. It's not even good for you, So our main goal now is to finish this place. And once we finish this place, we can just focus on maintaining it. So that's the goal.
So the
right
school,
now,
the football pitch,
the school,
swimming
the football
pool,
pitch, swimming pool, a small swimming pool.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Also, we've got on top of the sleeping area where the kids stay, we want to put like little studio flats there. So when our our guests come from the west, they can come and stay at the school. What we want to do is we want to bring a lot of professionals over here. We want to bring doctors over here. We want to bring people who do psychology and all these things who can come and sit with our children. But we have to facilitate accommodation for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people want to come, they expect you to pay for everything, isn't it? You got to pay for their flight, got to pay for the hotel. It's costly. And it'll be cheaper for us to have a small accommodation here. So when our guests come, they can come here and spend time with the children. They can come here and see what's going on in the land, and we can facilitate it to them in an easier way. So that's the main goal right now, just to try and complete this place, inshallah ta'ala.
Provided that the money, inshallah, by the will of Allah, comes and it's not a problem, how long would you say until that's complete, till the fake grass is there, the school is built, the flat's built, and we're ready to say this project is complete?
Bro, we crack on. When's the last time you came here?
That's what I'm saying.
When's the last time?
Nothing long, is it, bro?
Just over a year ago. Yeah.
Okay,
That's the difference.
When you came here, what was here?
Literally, over the whole land, there's absolutely nothing, but just in this corner, there was bricks being laid for the masjid, and bricks were still being built.
Okay. So now you come here, what do you see?
The masjid is complete, the dining area is complete, the sleeping area is complete.
Wudu area, toilets,
Wudu area is complete, toilet, and everything's fully functioning. Classrooms upstairs.
The proof's in the pudding, man. As they say, the proof's in the pudding. We get the money, we crack on, we don't waste time. The only thing, because Ramadan's coming, there's rainy season coming in the next 2 months or so. We won't start doing any major work in the rainy season.
Okay.
Because all the prices go up. The price of cement goes up. The price of stones go up. The price of sand goes up.
Okay.
Everything goes up. So what we'll do is, if we raise the money in Ramadan, we'll probably relax for a few months. End of September, that's when the rainy season stops. We'll start working then, because it will be cheaper. Because last year we were working the rainy season and it cost us, bro.
Okay.
To be honest with you, and little things like sand trucks are getting stuck on the land and all that type of stuff, and then when they know they're coming here, they're charging us extra because they know that they might break down. So now, alhamdulillah, we got some experience. We will know that we will start our work after the rainy season. So I believe, inshallah ta'ala, if we raise money this Ramadan and we start the work, let's say October, November, them times, I reckon by February we would finish everything.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah, inshallah, I believe so. By February, everything will be done.
So someone listening and watching this podcast right now, and they're inspired from what you're saying, and they want to get involved, they want to donate, or they want to give some brand new clothes or whatever it is. What's the steps of doing that?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're telling to follow at Spot Project project, at Spot _project, and DM us. We'll give you information. At the end of the day, like we were speaking before, we don't have fundraising pages up all the time, because if we're not fundraising for a reason, we don't want just people to be donating, because at the end of the day, every time someone donate, I believe that it's upon me that I have to show them something.
Yeah.
So I don't need that stress.
Yeah.
You understand? So if I'm raising money for a particular project, then I can keep giving people updates.
Yeah.
And they can see where their money's going to. But if I'm not doing anything and you're giving me money, then what am I going to show you?
Yeah.
So do you encourage people to like come out here and like arrange like groups to come out? Is that something that you would not?
No, of course. We've had loads of people come out here, and what we're doing before Ramadan, we do the 2K challenge. So we tell people to try and raise £2,000 in the month of Ramadan, and then come to Africa and see where your money's going. And you can even come and spend the money yourself. It's not a problem. We tell them that the things that we need, and we use the money accordingly. But our project is open to all, open to all who want to sincerely come and help us and make a change. Because our goal is to help the kids, to improve their life, to give them a better life. So if anyone can add to that, then by all means, the window's open to them,
And like you say, it's not just, if somebody might be thinking, I don't have money, or I don't know what it is that I can do to help. But subhanAllah, if you really think about the people who are helping, there's a brother Bilal in the UK who helps so much with Spot Foundation and getting the brochures and this, that, the other. And then there's the sister in Manchester who every year does the event. So there's always some capacity in which a person could help, whether it be financial, whether it be just arranging something, or whether it be spreading the word out somewhere. There's always something that can be done towards a project, right?
Many people have come and gone. Not come and gone, but like when we first started, we had like our sister Shema, all them sisters were putting in wallahi, crazy work. Without them sisters, I don't even know where we would be right now. They were breaking their back for this project. Alhamdulillah, situations changed, so the sister can't be involved as much as she was, but she put in a lot of work. Then Allah gave us another sister, Aliyah, who's breaking her back for us now. She helped us last year, we did an event, and she's helping us this year again. So, and she's come here twice, So alhamdulillah, Allah is facilitating for us. And like you said, it's not all about money. Maybe you can't bring money, but you might bring an idea. You might bring something else to the table that we really need, So it's, like I said, it's a collective team effort. We've all made this project come together. No one can stand and say, if it wasn't just because of me. No, because collectively, everyone's done their part. I've had brothers call me and say, look, I spoke to one brother, he wants to donate 10 grand to the project, just like that. It's got nothing to do with me. Yeah. Do you understand? You've done fundraisers, got nothing to do with me. I'm not on your page. You're marketing it through your own audience. They've donated because they trust you. And alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah, you can show them where your money went to. So this is what it's about, team effort. I believe that if we come together as a team and we work together, that we can achieve anything,
SubhanAllah, I remember that Manchester event that you're just talking about now, that we did last year. Do you remember, Bilal, that Manchester event? What happened? You were just speaking about, like, we don't know when we're going to die and death. And that Manchester event was mad because we went out there. I remember me and Abu Bakr went on train. Bilal, you met us there. Yeah, Bilal met us there. We're at the event now. And Sam, Only, innit?
Yeah.
You remember Only's dad was really ill, and then subhanAllah, we're at the event now. I did Manchester event, and literally, I'm up first to talk, I think, and I'm just about to talk. I get a phone call. I go outside, and I'm in Manchester now, yeah. And recently, I've been on call. I'm in London because that's what, and I felt like his dad was getting really, really unwell, and I said to my wife, I remember saying to her, look, if this goes down, because it was a downward spiral. I said, you're not gonna see me in it. Like, I've got to be there because that's my
best friend,
my best. And I was like, I've got to be wherever he needs from me. I have to be there. He rang me, and he is very, very strong emotionally. Yeah, so he rang me just by the way he was breathing. I knew what happened. His dad passed away. I was like, subhanallah.
You even said you can't even talk at that.
I remember. I was like, I'm in Manchester. Like, I'm 4 hours away. There's not like. I don't know. I'm trying. I come in the room. I said, yo, I'm gonna come back. I come back. I said to Bilal, I'm back. I said, I don't know. I think I need to leave. I don't know what to do. I get back. What am I supposed to do? Like I can't. And I said, I can't talk at the event. I can't talk at the event. So I remember Bilal and Bakr were like, look, if you can't talk, don't worry about it. Obviously, it's mad because I don't think you guys knew the extent to what, like, how close I was to this brother. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, so I was like close to tears, brother. And then I took a minute out. I think I went out, got some fresh air. I spoke to him. He said, look, the brother was like, look, I don't know what's happening right now, bro. I rang Omar. I said to Omar, my brother, I said, listen, you need to go see Only now because this has just happened. I can't be there. You need to be there for him, innit? I was like, he's my boy, so by default, you're my brother, you need to be there for him. So Omar went over there, just sat with him. And then I thought to myself, I said, look, I'm in Manchester. I can't be leaving in a couple hours anyway. It don't make sense because by the time I get to the train station, this, that, the other, it's going to be the same time that Bilal was going to drive us back. So I was like, there's no point. I'm here anyway. And think about what we're doing. Like, subhanAllah, we're here for the sake of Allah, trying to call people like to build this thing for the sake of Allah. And so I thought I got to do it. And then I just come back and I was like, I'm going to speak. And I just went on stage and I just spoke from my heart. And it was probably the worst it was probably my worst stage thing ever. But I remember, and I was honest with the audience. I was like, I just got off the phone. My boy's dad just passed away. Like, look, this is life. This is actual life. Like, we don't know when we're going to pass away. So if imagine you could help towards a project. And I said to you yesterday, and I said to Sam yesterday, you were showing a sleeping area, that you was telling us that you could go to the doctors tomorrow and you could just be told something that will change your life forever. You got this illness, etc, etc, etc. You got this many days left, and your life is just on flip 360. Now, no business matters, no work matters, nothing matters. All that matters is, wow, it's possible. Obviously, Allah knows best. It's possible I could meet my Creator any day, and at that point, what matters is what have I done for my akhirah. And to be able to die doing something that is purely for the sake of Allah is something that we all hope and pray to be to have that kind of ending, really.
I mean, it's true.
SubhanAllah.
It's true. That's a deep one.
It's serious, man. And like you said, go to the doctor, he tells you one thing, your whole life will change. You could be you could be opening a new business, you got family, you got children, whatever. As soon as they tell you that, nothing don't matter now.
We're discussing, but
how do you maintain it? Because you seem to be so death conscious. Out of every brother I speak to, you do honestly drop the reminder of death coming anytime. You do remind me a lot every time I meet you. You seem to give me that reminder. How do you stay so conscious of that? What is it that motivates you to stay so conscious of it?
It's not a thing of that I stay conscious of it like that, but at the same time, I'm a sinner, innit? I commit sins all the time. So this is when I see death, it's a reminder for myself, isn't it? So when I'm telling you, it's not like I'm telling you because I'm telling myself, listen, Abak, you need to change.
Yeah.
You need to sort your life out. You get what I'm trying to say to you? So
it's very easy to be distracted by dunya matters and family matters, etc., to forget that death is fast approaching.
It's too easy, but that's why I say it's so important for us to be involved in doing some type of good.
Yeah.
Wherever it is, you know what I'm trying to say to you? I'm not saying that everyone needs to come to Africa, but find somewhere where you can be involved in something, something that, inshallah ta'ala, will meet Allah, is something that can be presented in front of Allah. Some of us have to ask ourselves that if we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what have you done that you could show Allah and say, look, I done this, Allah, please forgive me, or not even say Allah forgive me, but Allah can say, okay, you done this. If you've got nothing apart from 5 times a day zakat, fasting for Ramadan, it's problematic.
Sam, do you remember when we were talking just before we came out here, and we said sometimes as a person you think to yourself, oh, one day I would love to do this. Like, for example, one day I would love to build an orphanage, or one day I would love to give back, or one day I would like to go back to my home country and build a masjid that's upon Quran and Sunnah and start implementing the Sunnah, because there's a lot of bid'ah, for example, going on. But what you have shown, I think, a lot of people, is that when you think that, you can implement it, and you can implement it now. Begin the process, because you say to yourself, oh, one day, but you don't know if that day is going to come. It's just like it's the same analogy as when people say, like myself, I used to say, one day I'm going to become religious. I used to say to myself, even when I was practicing, I used to say, when I'm 40, that was my number in my head. When I'm 40, I'm going to be religious, because then I've lived probably half my life and I'm ready to start preparing for the next half. Who told me that I'm going to live to 40? Do you know what I'm saying? Likewise, if you have this thing in your head right now, you're saying, I want to start orphanage, I want to start masjid, anything, there's nothing stopping you from beginning. Just start the process.
But
Right.
you know, not only just that, you know, at the end of the day, you have to find like-minded people. It's like when we first started Spot, I could phone Muslim Bilal and talk about it. We can talk about it for an hour on the phone. I didn't feel like he was like I was burdening him or he was burdening me. I could phone like Musa and talk about it. But there's not a lot of other people I could phone because anyone else I thought they didn't even want to hear that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
then when you start coming together with a team of brothers who are like-minded, then now I can talk to you about it and it's not a problem. I can talk to someone about it, it's not a problem. And then you've got a few group of brothers that I can speak to them about the project and they can speak to me about the project anytime and it's not an issue. But there's other brothers like if I phone it, they don't want to hear this. They ain't got time for that. So you have to find like-minded people so that you can go on that mission with them people. Because like I said, it's a collective team effort. Everyone is playing a position. Without that person doing something, we wouldn't be here today. Without that other person doing something, we wouldn't be here today. It's collectively. Not one person can take all the fruits of it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a team effort. And that's what's important. So when you're on a goal, when you're on a mission to do something, you have to make sure that you have a good team. Obviously, you have to make sure you're ready to do it no matter what. It's a ride or die thing, you know. But if you find other brothers who believe in what you brought to the table and they take it on and it's their project as well, then that's it. You know, the rest is history. So I know for a fact right now, if there was a madness going on, I could phone Muslim and say, listen, bro, you need to find $3,000. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but find it.
But you know he'd do it.
He will do it, bro.
Yeah.
He will do it. I don't know how he will do it, but he will do it.
Yeah.
I can phone the other bill out. Say, we're in problems, you know. And this is that's because it means something to them. If something goes wrong here, it hurts their heart. So that's what it's about. It's collective team effort. Brothers who really care for what we're doing. Once you got a team like that, it's easy to be successful.
Abu Bakr Islam, Jazakallah khair for giving us your time. I know you're a very busy man when you're here in Gambia. The project is very important to all of us, especially yourself. And so I appreciate your time. We both appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure.
Listen, if people who are listening want to donate to the project, want to get involved in the project, I'm going to put all of the information in the intro of this podcast and also in the bio. So if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see it in the bio. I'll put it in the description podcast app, so all the information will be available to you. And definitely help out the project where and when you can. If, for example, we're looking to raise money, donate to the link. If we need help and awareness, do what you can, because you'll be surprised what you can make happen. Even if you think, I haven't got followers or I haven't got money or this, that, the other, you will definitely make a big difference. So yeah, please do check all of that information out. And with that being said, this was episode something or Freshly Guarded. I don't know what number.
54, 55.
54, 55. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks.